This is an introduction to equation of a line, and in this we're going to today do an activity, and it's important that you're able to recognize different parts of the equation of a line. And for this course, the formula that we'll be using often is y equals mx plus b. And we've seen this before where its output is equal to some number times the input plus or minus another number. And it's important that you're able to identify the m and the b in these examples. Now the y is calculated by subbing in different values of x, and we can choose any value of x we want. However, what we're multiplying for the number by is going to be constant for a particular equation, and what we're adding or subtracting is going to be constant. So we'll take a look at a couple of examples, and it's important that you're able to identify m and b. Now forget y equals 3x plus 7. We're multiplying x by 3, so that means that our m is 3. And we're also, in this case, adding 7, so that means that our b is 7. Another example, if we're given y equals 2x minus 9, we're multiplying the x by 2, and we're taking away 9, so that means that our m is 2, and our b is negative 9. Another example, if we've got y equals 3 over 4x, then that means that we're multiplying x by 3/4, so our m is 3 over 4. And we're not adding or subtracting anything here, so that means that our b is 0. Our fourth example, we've got x minus 5 over 2, and here there's no number in front of the x, but it's understood that in this case there is 1x, so that means that m here is 1, and it's important, this is a common error, that if there's no number there, m is 1. And the b, since we're subtracting 5 over 2, our b is negative 5 over 2. This example, we have the number, then we have our x term afterwards. Now if we rearrange this, it's going to be easier to see what our m and b are. We can rewrite this equation. Remember, if you switch the equation around, the sign stays with the variable. So minus x plus 4 is the same equation as 4 minus x. We can't just switch the two around. So we can't write it as x minus 4 because that's not the same thing. We have to write it as negative x plus 4. So it's important that you remember that the sign stays with the term when you rearrange the equation. So that means that our m is negative 1, because here we're multiplying x by negative 1, and you can see in this example that this would be understood to be negative 1. And that means that our b is positive 4. Our last example, if we're given an equation y equals negative 2. Well, here there is no x term, and the only way that that's possible is if we multiply x by 0. Then 0 times any number, it doesn't matter what number we put in as our input, 0 times that is going to be 0, take away 2 is negative 2. So these two equations are the exact same, it's just that when you multiply x by 0, that the answer, no matter what x is 0. So our m here is 0, because that's what we're multiplying x by, and our b is negative 2. So now you can go on and do the activity.